What's up, guys? We're gonna give you a little bit of backstory before we jump into this video. Uh, I've been having problems over the last week with Gamestop. I've had issues with my order. I literally have only ever ordered from GameStop's website once, and have had nothing but issues the entire time. The VOD that you're about to see is actually from my live stream where I just went on a rant because one of my viewers was asking me if the problem got resolved. At this moment in time right now, my package is shipped and on its way. But it was not until after the altercations with GameStop employees through the customer service department and the customer service chat that anything was resolved. Nothing was resolved by them, though. It wasn't until after the fact that anything was done. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the root of my rant, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. But that's definitely it was the first, and it's definitely the last time I will ever order anything from GameStop.com. And I will say that openly, publicly, and I'm not deleting this VOD. It was true remembrance. I was so confused, and then it was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. For those of you that don't know, I placed an order from GameStop for a gift for my fiance for Christmas. I placed this order last week. Okay? I get an email about 2 days later from GameStop saying, hey, your order is about to be shipped. Your expected delivery date is 12/15. So I was like, sweet, cool. And then the 16th rolls around, yesterday, and my order still had not been shipped. So I was like, all right, I'll try and figure out what's going on. So I called GameStop. I called the customer service hotline. Sat on hold for an hour. They pick up the phone and immediately hang it up. They didn't say a word. I physically heard them pick the phone up and then set it right back down on the hook, and it hung up on me. So I was like, all right, if the call center is going to be like that. So I hopped into the website and I messaged through the contact us on the chat. Talked with this guy for a while. He basically told me that there's nothing he can do, that there are delays in the processing center, offered no sort of resolution, and then I don't remember exactly what, but something happened and I asked to speak to a supervisor. As soon as I asked to speak to the supervisor, he ended the chat. Like, he didn't respond to me. A few minutes later, he ended the chat. Just straight up ghost. And to give a little bit of context, just in case anybody goes back to watch this VOD, I'm going to put the actual picture. I screenshot it. I ain't stupid. I screen captured it. But I'm going to put the picture of the screenshot of the conversation. The end of the conversation. Where I asked to speak to a supervisor and he hung up on me. Like, he ended the chat. He equivalent of hung up on me. It's Gazer's fault. Let's see. Which picture is it? There it is. Right here. But they had offered, or no, my bad. This guy offered one resolution. The only thing he offered was to offer me they offered to refund me the difference in shipping because I paid extra for the expedited shipping. I paid extra for the expedited shipping. He offered to refund me the difference in the shipping, which is $2. And I literally laughed at him. I told him it was a straight up fucking joke. So that's what you can see, part of it. And as you can see, he goes, right now, I already informed the department working with orders to get your order get shipped as soon as possible. Like, he had continuously spammed me with that exact message to try and just shut me down. So I was like, I wish to speak to your supervisor. I sat there for 9 minutes with no response. All done. Thank you for chatting with us. Have a great day. Ended the conversation. Next time, because I screenshot that. I screenshot the beginning so that I could have the guy's name in case I needed to give it to customer service. I messaged the next person. My first message, very first message, was asking. I immediately asked to speak to a supervisor. I said, I told the person who answered the chat, I flat out, I was like, I want to speak to a supervisor. Or, well, I said, I wish to speak to a supervisor, please. It is not something that you are able to help me with, being a regular employee, as it involves the interaction with a previous employee. So, here's this one. We get to the end of this one. Lo and behold, the same person does the same thing. The difference is, they asked me what, as you can see, they asked me what the issue was, and I said, I am sorry, I cannot say further than it involves an interaction with a previous agent. With you not being a supervisor, I am not at liberty to relay that information to you, and I am not required to do so either. Because I'm not. He's a regular employee, and it's bad business practice to talk about not being a supervisor and talk about another employee's interactions, especially when it involves a customer complaint. They said they were going to get me the supervisor. 8 minutes later, they ended the chat. Straight up ended the chat. No supervisor, no nothing. No middle message, no nothing. I sat there 8 minutes, ended the chat. Okay, third time rolls around, because I screenshot that. Third time rolls around, guy gets on, or, well, person, I don't know if it's a man or woman or what, it's an online chat, but person gets on. Immediately, I told him flat out, because I knew it would work. So, I knew this would work and get me a supervisor. So I messaged, the very first message. I was like, I want to speak to a supervisor. It involves I won't say exactly what it is, but it involves interactions with the previous agents. And I said flat out, I was like, and if you end this conversation without getting a supervisor, my next step is to involve my lawyer. Because in actuality, if I really wanted to be petty, I could have sued them, because they sent me an email under the way the business practice laws are. They sent me an email stating that the estimated delivery date was going to be such and such day. It was past that date, and they still had not even shipped the item. But I wasn't actually going to get my lawyer involved unless I absolutely needed to, because that's petty. So I was like, if you hang up this conversation without actually getting a supervisor, then I'm gonna get my lawyer involved. What's up, UK? How be you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could sue for damages. I could not only sue for my money back which I could just get a refund, but I could sue for my money back, I could sue for damages, and I could sue for mental exasperation with the way the laws are written. But yeah. So this person actually got me a supervisor. Like, I wasn't mean about it, I wasn't hateful, I wasn't cussing at this point, I wasn't argumentative, I was just stating fact. And this one actually got me a supervisor. So I was like, sweet. So I talked to the supervisor. Basically, and it's close to Christmas, rough year and all that. Like, the courts would have sided in my favor if I would have actually taken it to court. The courts would side in my favor so hard. I'm a parent. It was a gift for a loved one. They are a major corporation. Like, everything would have lined up in my favor. But I'm not going to take it that way. I'm not going to take it that far. But yeah, I talked to the supervisor. The supervisor essentially told me the exact same thing that the first agent told me, that there was nothing they can do about it, and pretty much told me my only options and only resolution to the situation is to... Time to go viral again. Oh, you best believe I'm making a YouTube video about this shit. Like, I'm not even joking. But, they made themselves the target of my next scam video. But essentially, the supervisor told me that my only options were to wait for an item that may never arrive or get a refund. Cancel my order and get a refund. He's always shitting on GameStop. DM me a link. DM me a link to his channel. Because I will. I'll DM him, like, this is some bullshit. Like, they wanted to fucking basically treat me like shit. Shouldn't have said what, Will? Talking about them being the subject of my next video. No, I didn't say scam them. I said they are going to be the subject of my next scam video. I do a series of videos on YouTube called Scam or Not. Oh, I don't give a shit if anybody takes it out of context. Let them.